Hey, welcome to another episode of the Evolved Dad Shortcast. So, something that I preach very often is the importance of building a strong foundation. So, I want to dial things back and focus on what is that strong foundation made of. It's something that we've discussed in the past, but I want to simplify it. There's really three core pieces that I'd like to focus on. Because when it comes down to it, we live in a world where everybody has advice for us. Everywhere you turn, there's something else. How you should discipline your children, how you should have a work life balance, and how people do everything, they get everything done. As an evolved dad, I've learned that really it comes down to three pillars. And if you take those three pillars, that's what's going to help you strive and grow and journey to becoming a dad, becoming an evolved dad. Those three pillars are as follows: personal growth, redefining fatherhood, and brotherhood, community. If you take these three pieces, you're going to be able to become the dad that you want, the dad that your family needs. So let's break down the importance of each one of these pillars. So let's start with personal growth. There's a saying that you probably have heard many times: you can't pour from an empty cup. Now, as dads, or fathers becoming dads, there's a lot to pour. There's a lot that we want to give over to our children. Maybe it's that you don't even realize yet that you want to give it over to your children. There's a lot to give over in a short amount of time, and the years just seem to go by quicker and quicker. So without having that full cup, you're not going to be able to pour it out and give over to your children. That doesn't just mean physically. It doesn't just mean monetarily. It's physically, it's mentally, it's emotionally. You need to be able to show up for your kids the best that you can in order to give them the best future that they could possibly get, starting them off as soon as possible. And something that I got caught up in as well: when you become a father, it doesn't mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that you're forever chained to this new title. I find that a lot of fathers feel that, and everything in their day becomes something about providing for their children, providing for their family. They forget about themselves. And the truth is, it's probably one of the worst things that we could do, not taking care of ourselves. Self care, in essence, is the least selfish thing that a father, a dad, could do for his children. Let's take an example. So, you get home from a busy day of work. You're stressed. You have a short temper because things at work went sideways today. And you walk into the house and just start snapping at your kids for something so minor and silly. It just doesn't even make sense. But in the moment, that's just what ends up happening. Now, pause there. What's that lesson that you're teaching your children? That it's okay to stay stressed and get angry and just snap at people randomly? Now, this may happen here and there. That's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the repetitive behavior. Because when that becomes the commonplace reaction, you're teaching your kids that it's okay to get angry because you're stressed and lash out at others. And that's not something that you want to give over to your kids. I know it's something that I don't want to give over to my kids. So what's the resolution for that? Well, there's all sorts of things that you could do. It's really about finding what works best for you. That could be something that exercising, journaling, meditation, breath work, any of these things, something just to be able to get yourself under control. Be able to take that deep breath before walking into the house. Now, you're always going to come in with a smile? Maybe not. Is that going to be your goal? That's up to you. But the idea is to not just let life happen to you, make sure that you're making your life happen. And there's a fine line there, but take ownership. And that's where you have the personal growth. That's really the first of the baselines of taking that step forward as an evolved dad. Okay, let's jump to step 2. Redefining fatherhood. Being a father is a biological happening. Sometimes it just happens. Other times it's planned for, but it's something that's biological. But being a dad is not. Being a dad is taking the time and working on it and understanding what does it take for me to help give my children the best future possible. Creating a legacy, leading by example. These are all parts of becoming an evolved dad. And it's become a societal thing to tell dads that you have to financially provide for your family, leaving every other detail out. But the way that the world has changed, the way that the world has evolved, that's simply not enough. Think about it. Your kid says, "Hey, Dad, watch me." And they're drawing a picture, riding their bike, showing that they just learned how to ride their bike. Just being silly, having fun. They just want your attention. They want you to be present in the moment with them, to spend that time with them. It's not the same as it used to be, where there was a lack of connectivity, where you couldn't speak to a father maybe the entire week. You got to see him for bits on the weekend. Now we're around our kids more often. Are you going to be the one that's going to be sitting on his phone? That's just going to sit there? Or are you going to be the one that's looking into their eyes and just listening to hear what they have to say? Not looking to give them an answer, but just listening to listen. That's redefining fatherhood. That's understanding that there is a stereotypical father. That's not who we are. That's not enough. We want more for our children. That's how we do it as an evolved dad. That's the plan. Now, one last thing on that is that we have the ability to not only lead our children. Yes, we're going to show them how to exercise, how to eat well, how to do things. But don't be that leader that doesn't have compassion for his children. Understand they're on a different level. They're not in the same place. All these aspects are things that we're going to continue talking about and diving into and understanding the importance of redefining fatherhood. Because yes, fatherhood has changed 1,000 times over the years. So what makes you think that it's not time for you to change how you approach fatherhood? That's how we approach it as Evolved Dad. The third pillar, brotherhood, community. So to be honest, fatherhood can get very lonely, isolating in ways. Especially you have a family, there's work, all the things going on. And very often we just feel like we're alone. Society has also given us this concept of going out and hustling and working harder and providing for your family, being there and doing this and doing that. It could get very tiring, painful even. But the truth is that you're not alone. Every dad is facing these challenges. There's a certain power that we share by sharing those with others. There's a certain connection that we create by sharing it with other fathers. Be it someone that's on the journey with us, someone that's ready to start their journey, or maybe someone that's a little bit further along. But to build those connections, build those communities, it changes everything. Just think about it. You have a situation you're not quite comfortable bringing up with a random person. It's not water cooler talk. But you want somebody that understands what you're going through to give you their opinion, somebody outside of being in your place. And it's tough because we're told to zip up, stand tall, and just keep going at it. Where the reality is, there's no reason for that. There's other dads that are going through the same things that also want to talk. They also want to have these chats. And I'm not talking about having like everybody sit around and cry and complain. No, as dads, it could literally be having a beer with another dad. It could be, I don't know, at the gym, whatever it is. Just having that community, having that open ability to talk to each other. There's no one that knows what it's like more about being a dad than another dad. That's just the reality. We want to talk to somebody who's on the same level as us, somebody who gets what we're talking about. At the same time, community is not just about support, but it's about accountability. It's about surrounding yourself with other dads that are also looking to evolve. Because not only are you there for them, but it pushes you to grow. But not in the way of competition, a way of growth, where everybody's there for each other. They are holding up each other. You're holding up the next guy, the next guy's holding you up. And together you grow to greatest heights. Your families are all going to thrive because you've built that community, that brotherhood. That's one of the most important things about the Evolved Dad community. The growth of bringing dads together. Making more dads aware of the fact that we're all in the struggle together. We're not looking to the side and saying, oh, he's struggling. Sucks for him. No. We're doing this together. We're creating a bond to grow stronger together. So let's just sum it up quickly. We have the 3 pillars. We have the personal growth, redefining fatherhood, and brotherhood, community. So with personal growth, not only are you giving yourself tools to become the best that you are, that you're going to become, but that's something that's going to translate over to your children, going into redefining fatherhood. So step 1, you're setting yourself up for future success, both now and moving forward, which flows into step number 2, redefining fatherhood. How are you showing up? Which in turn is helping your children grow. And then taking those challenges that you're experiencing and bringing that into the brotherhood community. Bringing it into that time to be able to share with other dads who are also experiencing those same ideas, those same issues. So think about it. Imagine you're building a house. Personal growth, that's the foundation. That's what holds everything up. Redefining fatherhood, that's the roof. That's the walls. That's your outer part of the house. It's giving you the structure, giving you purpose. And then the brotherhood and the community, those are the support beams. That's what keeps the whole thing standing up, keeps it standing strong. So by focusing on these, you're not just improving your own life, but you're making a better life for your family. You're teaching your kids what it means to live with intention, to live with resilience, but most importantly, to live with love. I want to give you a challenge for this weekend, or wherever you're listening to this. I want you to start with one of these pillars and see what you can focus on. Where can you carve out some time for self-care? How could you be a little bit more present with your kids? Or maybe just reaching out to another dad, having a conversation, getting something off your shoulders. Because fatherhood is not about a solo journey. It's about us all doing it together. I want you to take that with you and realize that we're all here for each other. Yes, our families are waiting. And yes, you can do this. As always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me today. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.